Hi everybody, my name is Gudmar Peterson. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I've been talking about in my other videos a little bit this 3 steps, how I like to approach my training in 3 steps. I talked about the first step, supple and relaxed, talked about the next step, gaining control, and now I'm going to touch a little bit on the 3rd step called connected or collected. I am kind of just giving an overview of those steps, so I'm going to go into more details later for each one. But first I kind of want to help you see the whole picture. Hopefully that helps. In this video again I'm going to start talking about how I get the horse in between my aids, in between my hands and legs, get the horse connected and a little bit collected, and how I prepare for riding the horse the gate and then going into the gate. For me that's very important. For me it's quite important to have those other steps in place. So again, I have the horse supple and relaxed, bendable and relaxed. I have very good control over his feet, over his body. Before I can even start to try to do any kind of connecting or collecting. So again, with this guy, we've been through those basic steps. So I encourage you to watch those other videos. I hope you did. Now I'm going to start talking about how I can start to get him in between my aids more. How I can get this horse to work in between my hands and my legs. We sometimes say in front of the leg, behind the rein, right? You might have heard the term, the horse being behind the leg. It means he's not responding to your leg. His hind end is way behind you. In order to have a successful gate riding, in my opinion, you need to be able to have this horse in between your aids. This horse is a good example because he does like to keep his hind end a little bit further behind than I like him to. So we'll see how well I'll do working with that. So we ideally want the horse to work. The purpose of this connection or collection work is to be able to get the horse to work with his hind legs closer to his front legs. That's how we get a strong back. That's how we get the wither stopping. That's how we get the horse to carry you more with muscles and correctly. When he starts to work with his hind legs a little bit closer to his front legs. Then his back comes up. Explains itself, right? So, I'm going to walk him here forward first. There's a short walk there. Now I'm going to walk him on a normal walk. I'm going to start with regular rein contact. As I explained in one of my videos before, the first step of rein contact. So I'm in rein contact. Right, walking straight down the wall here, I'm going to start to slow the walk down. So I sit up straight, keep my leg on him so he does not stop, and I move my hands a little bit back, I sit back a little bit, and I restrict the forward movement with my seat, and I restrict the forward movement with my reins, and I expect this horse to walk slow. Now I'm just expecting him to walk slow. Take short steps and walk slow. And what I'm waiting for him to do, and what I want him to do, is to now kind of come into my rhythm, slow down, and wait for me. It's the key thing, waiting for me. If he's leaning on my hands and bullying forward, he's not waiting for me. Straight. I want the horse to wait for me, go slow, he's soft on the reins. Soft on the reins, he's waiting, and he's okay with it. He's in between my hands and my legs. I'm driving with my legs so he doesn't stop. And my reins don't really allow him to move a lot forward. In between my hands and my legs. I wouldn't call this collection yet, but it's definitely connected because he's in between my aids. Again, forward, regular walk. Slow the walk down. My weight a little bit backwards, sit back. Make sure my legs are there so it doesn't stop. Slow walk, slow walk, slow walk, slow walk. I'm going to ride as slow walk as I can without stopping. Slow as I can without stopping. And good. And forward. Right now, what I'm doing now, this slow walk, short walk we sometimes call it, is more about how he responds to the aids. It's mostly about that I can get the correct response. Let's try to go sideways now, just keep going straight. So I'm going slow and he's okay with it. He's listening to the reins, right? He's not trying to pull me forward. I can even release the reins for a little bit and he keeps going slow. My legs are there in case he will try to stop. But that's about all my legs do at this point. But now I'm going to start to move more towards a collective walk. I'm going to try to see if I can collect them a little bit on the walk. And the biggest difference here between a short walk and a collective walk is the amount of driving and energy. So I'm going to start with slow or short walk. Then I'm going to keep it slow and ask for a little more energy. Let's see with the stick there. There we go. I have more energy. It's still soft, right? Still soft. There we go. Now it's getting a little bit collected. There we go. More than it was, and then it worked. Very important to give him a break in between and then walk out. Now, how he's responding to this, right, okay. He's staying soft on my reins. That's one of the most important things. So slow walk again, slow walk, and stay up against the wall. There you go. And then I'm going to drive a little bit more. A little more energy. Make sure he stays light on the reins. There you go. Light on the reins. Light on the reins. That's it. That's it. That's it. There you go. Now, if this horse would not be soft, would not know how to bend, be soft in the neck and relaxed, he wouldn't be responding like this to this. He would be strong and stiff and hard. Absolutely hopeless to try to take a stiff, intense, and straight and strong horse and try to collect them a little bit. It's usually never going to work. They always get just stiffer. If his underneck was stiff and his neck was stiff in general, he would just get stiffer when asking to do this. But I prepared him by making sure he's supple and relaxed and that I have control over his feet. That's it. Didn't mean to. There we go. Make sure I give him breaks in between. Very, very important. Otherwise he can very easily feel closed in. Now, this kind of short and then maybe even collective walk. I can write short walk without collecting it a lot. It's just like a short walk. This is more. Take a little bit more collected here. Have a little more energy. This is the preparation for driving into the gate. Obviously, it doesn't have to be always this short or this collected, but this is the response we like to have before we get into the gate. So in other words, I need my horse to be able to stay in between my eights. In between the eights. Remember this one. It's going to come up again and again. So, in between the eights. So the horse is, I'm driving him, he's respecting the reins. Trying to be crooked here. Straighten up. In between the eights, the horse is okay in between the eights. And he finds freedom in between the eights. In between the eights he's loose. In between the eights he's light. There's no pulling and kicking going on here. This is lightness in between the eights. There's lightness in between the eights. That's a key thing. It's not about just holding him and pushing him. He needs to find that release. He needs to find that freedom in between the eights. Now, let's see what we can do by asking him to move closer to the gate. So again, short walk. Drive a little bit more. And then all I do is I drive a little bit more. Keep it light. So in other words, the gate starts from the driving. The gate starts from behind, not the front. So I like to be able to drive, get him in between my eights, and drive a little bit more. And you shouldn't have to stretch out a whole lot because you should step under. There you go. my eights, he's soft. He's soft in between the eights, very important. Soft in between the eights, he's connected, maybe a little bit collected. Drive a little bit more. And into the gate, go. Make sure to give good breaks in between. When you start to work with the horse in between the eights, it's quite easy to quite easy for the horse to become claustrophobic. So it's very important that you do it very short at a time. Always let him get out in between and stretch out and feel totally free. However, the goal is that he feels free in between the eights, but maybe not forever. So he needs to get some breaks. I need to trust that he will not ask him to be there. Now I just want to focus on how to get the horse in between your eights. How you can work the horse in between your hands and your legs. How you can use that technique to ride into the gate more successfully. It does not mean you always have to have a whole lot of collection, but you always need to have this feeling that you could get collection, you could get the horse more in between the eights. Not that he's just like strung out, whenever he goes faster, he just stretches his nose out and goes. You want to be able to have a horse in between the eights again, so when we step into the gate, he takes his hind legs, steps under his body, and that's how he lifts himself up through the back, through the withers, and into the gate. Again, this is just about the transition. I think that's one of the most important things. We'll be doing a lot more gating work. So hope to see you again there. Thanks today, and see you next time.